Yeah, this is like, I think, I think it's a real shame that there are enough like hitters, enough assassins, enough people that will, do the bidding of the ADL, do the bidding of Israel in like every local newspaper. I don't think this is, I don't think this is the same for the rest of the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel people, you know. But it is kind of sad that there's enough people that will write a hit piece, right? There's enough people that will write a hit piece in virtually every small market, big market, doesn't matter, in every local news media organization. Like under different circumstances, a year ago, before the barrage of hate attacks started, before the barrage of hate attacks unfolded, a couple of years ago, they would have said Francesca Hong appears with leftist streamer who is organizing voters, who's organizing Gen Z, who's converted a lot of young men from the far right. You know, that was the angle. And nowadays it's all controversial streamer, US deserved 9/11. They're trying to make fetch happen. It hasn't happened, but it doesn't matter, right? Like it's just as long as they can scare any boomer, as long as they can scare 10 boomers, and as long as they can drive clicks with this controversy, they'll do it, right? Key points. Wisconsin gubernatorial candidate Francesca Hong raised more than $57,000 by appearing on a live stream with controversial online commentator Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker has faced criticism for past comments, including saying America deserved 9/11 and other remarks called anti-Semitic. Hong defended her appearance, stating candidates need to engage with large audiences. Though she disagrees with some of Piker's statements, the appearance drew criticism from Wisconsin conservatives and has highlighted a divide among Democrats on whether to engage with Piker. It's just funny because there is no fucking divergence, right? There is no divide among Democrats. I'm telling you right now, all of that is just completely made up. It's just like a blanket template that they apply anytime they mention me. In the past, when they used to mention me, they would say Hassan Piker converts a lot of young men from the far right. Now that's substituted into Hassan Piker is a prominent critic of Israel, and therefore we can't just say he's a prominent critic of Israel. We have to say he's a vicious, rabid, anti-Semitic, anti-American monster. Now, of course, it doesn't really matter because what a lot of these guys don't recognize, I hate it personally. I hate being smeared as an anti-Semite. It annoys me. It's untrue, and it makes no sense. I'm someone who has combated anti-Semitism my whole life, and I will continue to do so. However, what they don't realize is this kind of commentary coming from local newspapers and mainstream media outlets unironically boosts my legitimacy because the average American literally hears that and thinks, oh, here we go again. They're calling another critic of Israel an anti-Semite. He must be a real one. Okay? That's it. That's it. I hope at some point the media will stop doing this. It's just very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating to see it. And everybody sees it. Like, this isn't a real thing. You know what I mean? This is not a real cause for concern. I don't think anyone serious thinks I'm legitimately anti-Semitic or whatever. I mean, it's just so stupid. And we just have to eat it. I guess there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to wait it out. Ben Lorber, consciously or not, Hassan is brilliantly taking the page from Steve Bannon's War Room, which has served as a live stream for MAGA candidates and operatives to develop and cross-pollinate strategy and tactics. Different Hassan's 30K viewers plus DSA as a grassroots infrastructure. If the left is having its Tea Party moment, developing a populist groundswell towards oriented towards reshaping one of the two major parties and winning political power, Piker's playing a crucial role. I am doing it on purpose. Of course, this is all deliberate. That's also part of the reason why I am on the receiving end of these like heinous smears, consistently being called and smeared as an anti-Semite. It is what it is. Hassan's solution to everything is just eat it. Buddy, it's worked so far. Okay? Has it not worked so far? I think it's worked so far. right? But I will say, I think with Israel's Hasbara budget increasing, this kind of stuff has increased alongside it as well. Like I'll just straight up say it. I think at this point, anyone that fucking defends Israel on the right or on the left, it must be getting a little piece of that motion, right? Like someone like Asmongold magically turns his entire worldview around. I know he's already he's not exactly morally consistent, intellectually consistent, or an intellectual at all, but such a glaringly obvious shift away from being like, oh, I don't really care about Israel to actually Muslims are our enemy and Israel is defending us in the West. He sounds like Tommy Robinson, right? I think guys like that are probably getting a piece of that action. They have to be. Okay? They have to be. Because if you're an independent content creator, you're aware by design of the way, which way the winds are blowing. So anyone like Asmongold that goes against the grain in this regard is not doing it because of their own moral framework. Okay? I think he's doing it because he's doing it because he's probably getting a little piece of that action. Yeah. He went from, oh, wow, Israel has a tremendous amount of control over domestic policy. I find that unconscionable, to Israel is our most moral ally. He's literally repeating the exact same shit that you hear from Jonathan Greenblatt, the exact same shit that you hear from all these other people, all these other bought and paid for or ideologically minded people that have, defended Israel their whole lives or are getting paid to defend Israel. It's not an accident. Anyway, Hong raised another nearly 35 grand the same day while joining Mike from PA Stream, an account banned from Twitch several times. Her appearance came one day before the end of a fundraising period. Candidates have until July 15th to submit a campaign finance report covering activity from January 1st to June 30th. Hong spoke with Piker for about 90 minutes discussing policies on her platform, the departure of Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis, the Act 10 era of Wisconsin politics, Madison's restaurant scene, and whether a Democratic Socialist is viable in Wisconsin. The person who wins the most votes is the most electable, Hong said. Wisconsin conservatives seized on Hong's appearance with Piker, including Representative Tom Tiffany, who's the Republican frontrunner in the governor's race. Conservative radio host Dan O'Donnell said Piker just might be the only person on earth crazier than she is. Critics have called Piker anti-American and anti-Semitic. In comments from 2019, Piker had said, America deserved 9/11, later calling his remark inappropriate. Piker recently said he would vote for Hamas over Israel every single time. Comments condemned by the American Jewish Committee, a U.S. House resolution, blah, blah, blah. So they just slap on all of that over and over again. In June, Piker was blocked from entering the United Kingdom, where the government determined his presence may not be conducive to the public good. Piker and his local commentator, Bachank Uyghur, said they were banned for criticizing Israel, the BBC reported. See, I'll put you on game, okay? You want to know how you write this article favorably, normally? As a prominent critic of Israel, Hassan Piker has been falsely or has been criticized as an anti-Semite or has been called an anti-Semite, a criticism that he considers to be a heinous smear, as he has said over and over again that he's had a long career of advocacy against anti-Semitism, like something along those lines. There's no counters on here at all. You know what I mean? You could add on Jeremy Corbyn or Zach Polanski, also including numerous other advocacy organizations in the UK, roundly condemning this decision when talking about the British, the British ban, because it was an unbelievably controversial ban that no one in the UK actually agreed with, so much so that even ops of mine, like even pro-Israel publications like the Free Press, criticized the British government for doing this, right? But they don't mention any of that. They don't do balanced coverage on this stuff because balanced coverage would imply the hollow nature of these criticisms and how ridiculous it is. Francesca Hong willingly appeared on a live stream with someone who has said America deserved 9/11, praised Hezbollah terrorists, and claimed it doesn't matter if rapes happened on October 7th. Tiffany said in a statement, if any other Democrat candidates for governor refuse to condemn these statements, they're making one thing clear. This is the extremism the Democratic Party fully embraces. Spokesperson for Sarah Rodriguez, considered one of the frontrunners, said the campaign had no comment on Hong's appearance with Piker. Democratic candidate Mandela Barnes also didn't comment. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley was the first to say he would not appear with Piker if invited. Who the fuck is Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley? Bitch, who the fuck is inviting you to the broadcast? Who invited you? Who are these people? Where are these people coming from? They're like, oh, dude, listen, I'm not coming on the Hasan Piker. Oh, really? Guys, if someone were to give me $1 million, I'd say no as comment, dude. What is this? Dinner with Jay-Z or $1 billion ass hypothetical. Neither is happening for you, big dog. Why the fuck would I have you as the Milwaukee County executive on my fucking broadcast? When have I ever had the equivalent of something like that on my motherfucking broadcast? Oh my God, dude. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, me, for example, if Dua Lipa was like, I'm breaking up with my husband to go on one of these fancy Europe travel trips with a controversial streamer Hasan Piker, I'd say no. You know, I'm a man of Allah. I'm a man of God. No, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, it's not. You know, what do you mean? What the fuck is this dumbass? What the fuck is this dumbass statement? It's like chatters being like, I'm not coming on the broadcast. Chatters have a much higher likelihood of coming on the broadcast than the Milwaukee County executive. I'm open to all reasonable, pragmatic conversation about how to move our state forward, but Hasan Piker's statements are beyond the pale, and I would not appear with them if invited, Crowley said. This race isn't about who can generate the most viewers on live streams by making outrageous and offensive statements. In a statement shared by her campaign, Hong said she doesn't necessarily agree with every single statement Hasan Piker has ever made, but it is inarguable that he uses his massive platform to stand up for working class people, for trans people, for immigrants, for other marginalized folks. Hong says she specifically disagrees with Piker's 2019 comments about killing capitalists circulated by Wisconsin conservatives after Hong's stream with Piker. I abhor political violence. Yeah, I do too. Okay? Piker has campaigned with Democratic Socialists elsewhere. In a teaser announced for Hong's appearance, Piker said he could head to Wisconsin to stump for Hong. Piker's also rallied for Democratic Socialists of America-backed candidates in New York and campaigned with Michigan Senate candidate Abdul El-Sayed, drawing criticism from two other Democrats in the race. Mick Morrow said Piker is somebody who says extremely offensive things in order to generate clicks and views and followers, which is not entirely different from somebody like Nick Fuentes, a far-right influencer or white supremacist. I love that they posted a photo of me and AOC right underneath that statement, by the way, immediately destroying the fucking counter narrative. Cheesegate not mentioned, thank God. While some on the Democratic Party have appeared on Piker's stream, others have said they wouldn't join him. I think that it's essential that candidates go on to have conversations. First of all, I have a question. If you're going to write an entire article about me, why the fuck won't you ask me for comment? What kind of fucking journalism is this? Hope Carnop? Shame on you. Okay? Fucking shame on you. Shame on the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel too. How is this good journalism? I hope you got $7,000 from the Israeli Knesset to be able to write such a fucking idiotic hit piece. What the fuck is this? What is this? You're not going to ask me for comment? You're not going to ask me for comment at all? The fuck is this shit? Look, there are certain outlets that I'm not going to fucking respond to, right? Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, I would have gladly fucking responded to. Anyway, look at the sequence of fucking losers, the graveyard of political campaigns that we have led that have openly criticized Hasan Piker. Like, suck my dick. Hong is among the 6 Democrats still competing for the nomination in the August 11th primary. Yeah. Hope Carnop can be reached out at hcarnop at usatodayco.com. Fucking ridiculous. Anyway, This is an unbelievable hit piece, dude. At a critical moment when local news is more important than ever, this is how you choose to utilize your limited resources. Anyway, it's a tiny newspaper, but it's still good to show them a little bit of fucking criticism for doing this kind of thing, because it's like it's disgusting. What they did is like so silly. Same author, but with a puff piece for Hong's opponent. Yeah, who is Andy Mansky, the other Republican running for governor? Yeah, profile piece by Hope Carnap. Same fucking outlet. Seems to me like we know exactly which direction she's heading. I just think it's deeply unethical to do stuff like this. Florida AFL, like I'm saying this as someone who's very clearly not a part of. I'm an independent media personality. I'm a political commentator. I let my biases be known. I obviously stump for campaigns. It's very different than like what a objective newspaper is supposed to do, but I care quite a bit about making sure that we have reliable, objective news reporting at a time when it is critical. Okay, it is the last bastion of defending democracy. I know we're going to talk about Florida AFL-CIO refusing to endorse Moskowitz and the only incumbent Dem in the state they didn't endorse. I feel the Larkin motion. I know we're going to talk about it. Yeah. Like they added statements that Mallory McMorrow herself then backtracked on. It's just the same fucking copy pasta article over and over again. It's disgusting. It's nasty. I expect that from fucking dumbass slop tubers on the internet. I don't expect that from local newspapers. Okay? I don't expect that from local news media. Even the New York Post, before they write a hit piece, will reach out for a comment, you know? Even they abide by that standard. You can't be worse than the fucking New York Post, man. You can't be worse than the motherfucking New York Post. Nasty. Anyway,